Narration: I'm sitting here reflecting on the winding path of my life, my journey from chasing financial success to searching for something deeper than material wealth could offer me. It's been a long road filled with ambition and discontentment. I thought that every new luxury was the key to happiness, but as time passed, I realized it had only fed an endless hunger within. It all began when I started building my career, stacking up on achievements like stepping stones in the river of life. Every promotion, bigger paycheck, expensive car. They felt good at first. Yes, but soon enough they lost their luster. I found myself chasing bigger bank accounts and more possessions than ever before. Yet despite all these, an emptiness remained, a void that seemed to grow with every success. I was curious about what was missing in the midst of my relentless pursuit for status and wealth. So one day, I decided to delve into it, not looking for explanations from others but within myself. And as I explored my mind's deepest fears and desires, I stumbled upon an intriguing concept: that true fulfillment might lie beyond financial gain. Was it possible to find happiness in a life where the focus was shifted away from wealth accumulation? It was a daunting question, filled with uncertainties and challenges ahead of me, but I was determined. This would be my path if I could transform my life into something meaningful without relying solely on external achievements. The journey began with self-awareness, realizing that my obsession with money had been an escape mechanism for something more fundamental, but harder to identify: emotional security. It was a coping strategy, a way of avoiding the harsh realities and uncertainties of life itself. It made me question if it truly brought peace or was merely masking deeper fears. That's where Stoic discipline comes into play. Its principles offer a stark contrast from our modern world's obsession with accumulation. Stoics believe that true happiness doesn't come from external achievements, but stems from within, a state of inner tranquility and virtue. It taught me to focus on what I could control, my own thoughts and actions, rather than the uncontrollable aspects of life. The essence of Stoicism is encapsulated in its teachings about dealing with adversity and maintaining peace of mind amidst chaos. I learned that it's not what happens to us that matters, but how we react to it. That true happiness is found in accepting reality without resistance or judgment. I embarked on the journey by first adopting the practice of mindfulness, being fully present in every moment. Embracing experiences without the filter of past regrets or future anxieties. This helped me appreciate life's beauty more deeply and understand my place within its complexities. Next came the Stoic concept of preferred indifference. I realized that possessions, wealth, and status were indeed valuable but not inherently necessary for happiness. They could be enjoyed in moderation, without becoming the sole focus of my existence. The key was to distinguish between what truly mattered, virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. The Stoics also emphasized living life with integrity and consistency. I found that by adhering to philosophical principles every day, I could guide myself towards a more authentic and fulfilling path. It required discipline in the face of temptations, whether it was giving in to instant pleasures or succumbing to fear. Self-reflection became my constant companion as I sought to understand how my actions aligned with Stoic ethics. I began examining decisions from various perspectives: rational, emotional, ethical, and moral. This helped me identify blind spots where my desires were clouding judgment. Adapting Stoic discipline meant learning to cope with the ups and downs of life without losing sight of what truly mattered, maintaining balance between reason and passion, work and leisure, success and failure. It was a delicate dance that required constant adjustment as I navigated through different stages of life. As I immersed myself in Stoicism, I noticed significant changes within me. The quest for self-mastery became more than just a philosophical exercise. It transformed into a way of living with purpose and integrity. I found my identity shifting from an individual driven by external validation to one who embraced intrinsic values like perseverance, resilience, and self-control. One of the crucial Stoic teachings that resonated deeply was the concept of natural wealth. Unlike conventional wealth tied to material possessions, natural wealth consisted of virtues and relationships. These were invaluable resources that could be cultivated and enjoyed without the need for external validation. I began focusing on building a community centered around shared values instead of accumulating wealth to impress others or gain status. The Stoics encouraged living in harmony with nature, not just by eating well and exercising, but by aligning one's actions with natural law and understanding that true fulfillment comes from within. The Stoic practice of living with the end in mind was particularly impactful on my mindset. I learned to consider the consequences of my actions before taking them, asking myself whether they aligned with my highest goals or merely served as distractions. This helped me prioritize tasks more effectively and made everyday decisions feel more meaningful. I started incorporating Stoic exercises like the morning journal, which involved writing down thoughts and feelings upon waking up, followed by evaluating emotions and intentions for the day. This practice allowed me to identify patterns of irrational thinking or behaviors that needed correction. As I delved deeper into Stoicism, my relationship with time became more mindful. Instead of chasing fleeting moments of pleasure, I began savoring each experience fully, understanding its potential value in shaping who I am and what I can offer the world. This approach shifted my perspective on success, from accumulating achievements to contributing positively. Throughout this journey, there were countless lessons that stood out: mindfulness, self-reflection, natural wealth, endurance, and coping with adversity. Each one challenged me in unique ways, pushing me outside of my comfort zone. But it was the commitment to these principles, not just as an intellectual exercise, but as a way of life, that made all the difference. As I look back on this transformation, I'm filled with gratitude for Stoic discipline and its teachings. It has given me a framework to understand the world through a lens that emphasizes inner peace over external success. This journey wasn't without challenges, nor was it easy. But by embracing Stoicism, I found my path towards true happiness, one where I could live authentically and fulfill my potential. This story is not just about my transformation. It's an invitation for you to embark on your own journey of self-discovery and explore the depths of what true fulfillment truly means. By questioning our modern obsession with wealth accumulation, we might find that happiness lies within us all along, waiting to be embraced through Stoic discipline. I hope this narrative resonates with anyone who feels trapped in their pursuit for external validation or wonders if there's more to life than material possessions can provide. It's a call to challenge conventional wisdom and explore the timeless teachings of Stoicism as you navigate your own path towards true fulfillment. Continuation. As I embraced Stoicism's principles, my life began to shift from one of constant striving for external accolades towards a more balanced existence focused on inner growth and authentic living. The journey wasn't without its obstacles, moments where doubt crept in, making me question if this philosophy was truly as transformative as it seemed. The key challenge I faced was letting go of my attachment to financial success and the validation that came with it. I had spent years believing that wealth was a symbol of accomplishment and happiness, yet Stoicism taught me otherwise. The pursuit wasn't inherently wrong, but rather how one perceives and uses such achievements. True fulfillment didn't lie in accumulating more possessions or climbing higher on the social ladder. Instead, it resided within oneself. In this newfound perspective, I learned to evaluate my actions based on their ethical worth rather than the outcomes they produced. Stoicism encourages us to live virtuously by examining our motives and actions through a lens of reason and self-control. It's about understanding that we are responsible for cultivating our own happiness and not relying solely on external factors. I started to distinguish between what was truly important, virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, temperance, and friendship, versus mere possessions or superficial gains. I began to see my relationships as an essential aspect of natural wealth rather than a tool for status seeking. The value they brought wasn't measured by material gain, but in the emotional connections formed. In this transformation, mindfulness became not just a momentary practice, but a way of being aware and present in every action and thought, without judgment or attachment to outcomes. I learned that living with purpose meant aligning my actions with Stoic principles of wisdom and virtue rather than chasing fleeting pleasures. The Stoic concept of preferred indifference taught me moderation in all things, accepting them as blessings but not allowing them to define my happiness or worth, by distinguishing between what was essential for life's sustenance versus what was truly necessary for happiness. I found myself living more deliberately and with greater gratitude. Mindfulness of time became another pillar of this transformation. I realized that each moment held intrinsic value beyond its surface utility. The simple act of savoring a conversation or enjoying the beauty of nature could be as fulfilling as any grand achievement. As my relationship to Stoicism deepened, so too did my self-awareness and self-discipline. I faced the discomfort head-on, confronting my fears of failure, rejection, and uncertainty with courage rather than avoidance. Stoic exercises like journaling became tools for introspection, allowing me to better understand myself and make choices that aligned with my values. One of the most impactful lessons from Stoicism was the practice of living with the end in mind. By considering how every action contributed to a meaningful legacy or positive impact on those around me, I was able to prioritize effectively without sacrificing integrity. This perspective helped me maintain focus on long-term goals rather than being swayed by short-term distractions. The journey towards Stoic discipline wasn't about escaping life's challenges, but embracing them with resilience and understanding. Through acceptance of reality, I found the strength to face adversity head-on without self-pity or victimization. It was empowering to realize that happiness could be cultivated through inner growth rather than external achievements. Reflecting on this transformation, I am filled with gratitude for Stoicism's teachings. They have provided me with a roadmap towards authentic living and true fulfillment. For those seeking answers beyond the materialistic allure of modern society, I offer this story as an invitation to explore Stoicism. It can be both a challenge and liberation, a path that invites introspection, discipline, and the discovery of inner peace. In embracing Stoic principles, we find that happiness and contentment are accessible within us all. This journey is not merely intellectual, it's experiential one where our actions, thoughts, and relationships contribute to an enriched existence. As I look forward in this new chapter, I am excited about the ongoing transformation of my mind and spirit guided by Stoic discipline. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. May your journey be as enriching and fulfilling as mine has been.